Hello, Year 4. So I'm going to explain that the timetable that you can see that's just an outline plan of the lessons. It doesn't have to be in that correct order or for that amount of exact time, but the lessons that are planned throughout this planning will be to fill out those sort of timetable times for each lesson, so there's enough coverage of the curriculum. So how the planning is set out is we've got 5 days of English work, then we've got 5 days of maths work set out, which Miss Jones will go through, and then we've got a lesson for each foundation subject. And so we've got English lessons, then maths lessons, and then foundation. So for the English work, each day there is being set on reading eggs. There'll be 20 minutes allocated for you to read a book on your reading eggs log-ons. That's for every day. And then each English lesson is based on the Year 4 age-related expectations. So these are skills that that you should have learned by the end of Year 4. And it's similar to the skills we'll be doing in school. So there's a grammar lesson. Again, reading. We've got another grammar lesson. So I think there's three grammar lessons, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, including with it reading each day. There's also a LinkedIn news around there as well. And then we have 2 reading lessons after that. So we've got a reading on Thursday, which is using inference, which we've already done in school. And then the last day is writing. So as we've been learning all about settlements and Vikings in English, the writing activity is to complete a non-fiction text, a bit like the example there on Vikings.
Similar to English, instead of reading eggs, you will have timetable to practice for about 15 minutes. If you do need your login, you can always email upperphase@eastfield.co.uk and we'll send you your logins for either GT Rockstars or reading eggs. So we have 5 days submitted in English, and these are one-off lessons, either based on lessons we've done already in class or learning that you might be doing later on. So for Monday, we're adding numbers using the formal method, where you will need to write the numbers in using the column method in a workbook. You have 3 challenges each lesson and then a preliminary question at the end. Then for Tuesday, you're multiplying using the partitioning method, where you partition into the tens. There is a quick practice of your times tables first. Be careful, there might be hints to help you if you are stuck. For Wednesday, you're identifying the type of angle. So there are 3 angles that we focus on in Year 4. And on Thursday, we're identifying the different types of triangles. Again, there are 3 types of triangles. And then on Friday, you're using coordinates to describe position. For each of the foundation subjects, we have wrote 1 lesson for each subject. So we have MFL, which is your French. We're learning to say and write the months of the year. That is split into your introduction, your main activity, which needs to be done in your workbook, and a plenary. For geography, we are learning to develop a greater understanding of how to read maps using grid references. So we're using a 4-grid reference. In PE is just an activity that you could do at home from the rainbow error, creating balances. And in science, we're identifying the components of the water cycle. So all of these need to be done in your workbook. There's some keywords for you to use. PSHE, we are learning to understand different relationships. So you'll be creating a poster. And in computing, we're learning to understand online safety. RE, we're learning to understand religious symbols. And in music, you will need to log on to your UMU account. Again, if you need this, you can contact upperphase at eastfield.co.uk. History, we're learning to use Anglo-Saxon's alphabet. So using their alphabet, writing and changing that into English words. And then spelling, there is a quick spelling activity for you to do. And in art, we're creating a focal point, and that comes to the end of your home learning. Any questions, please send an email and send your work in once you are back in school. Thank you very much from Miss Jones and Mr. Shute.